All right, peace and blessings. It's Monday, May the 14th. I hope you're having a good day. Gary Northington, who's been in jail over 30 years, I can't remember the exact amount. He was put in jail for conspiracy to commit murder. He was exposing child pedophilia, child auctions. He's written a book very similar to the Franklin cover-up. I've just recently received that book, by the way. It's really getting behind in my book reading. I've got so many to read. But anyway, there's a service called jpay.com. And Gary Northington wrote me an email on jpay.com, and I wanted to read it to you guys. He wrote it on the 11th of May, 2018. Dear Rudy, I greatly enjoy my new job. I now sit outside watching equipment during which I can text and handwrite letter documents. I had previously written of no job and assume you prayed for this. The result was a job put on my schedule without prior notice. Very unusual. $8 a month is not much, but it's a help. But it is a help. It's wonderful. Isn't it wonderful how Jesus works? I am attempting to find an address to go to when I get out. Out of 10 Veterans Administration areas, I have written only Springfield, Illinois. Let me read that again. I am attempting to find an address to go to when I get out. Out of 10 Veterans Administration areas, I have written only Springfield, Illinois. Oh, only Springfield, Illinois responded. I wrote the Incarcerated Veterans Program at 2215 Fuller Road, Ann Arbor, Michigan 48105, but never received an answer. 2 websites related to the IVP follow. If someone can check www.annarborshelter.org/links.cfm and www.whalliance.org/local.html and send info for veteran housing to me, that would help. And then he gives his looks like address, Northington 193-035 3510 North Elm, Jackson, Michigan 49201. My last 2 emails about Michigan public office mafia corruption were 10 characters from max page limit on each. I'll do facts on the false 1987 prosecution against me in this email. This involves more than events in 1987. It goes back to the mid-1970s when I did security and investigative work involving entities west of the Mississippi. The 1970s events are described in my book, Satanic Deception, A De Facto Government. Speaking on the phone a few days ago helped me recall things when I said the Monroe, Michigan prosecutor had contacted the 1970s satanic group in Nebraska after I made a criminal complaint to the Michigan Attorney General in 1986. Shortly after the prosecutor's 1986 contact with Omaha Satanist, unknown persons began tailing my family for they then unknown reasons. One of the stalkers was Robert Manuel of Michigan. In 1987, one strange event occurred as I bought groceries out at a Food Town store in Toledo, Ohio, about 15 miles from home, when a Patty Duke-looking woman came to me. She said she knew me, then began talking about things I had done in Nebraska 11 years earlier. I had not been to that store in 4 years, so the woman had to be following me. I didn't realize then, but realized after my arrest, the woman was from the Omaha Society, of which I wrote Satanic Deception, A De Facto Government. The Satanic Society in Nebraska had thought I died in an auto accident until Michigan Chief Prosecutor William D. Fry told them otherwise. In late 1986, the Monroe, Michigan prosecutor let the satanic cult in Nebraska know that I was alive and well in Michigan. This was around the same time a police informant named Timothy Paul Baker asked me to fix a radio he wanted restored. My business was electrical development, manufacturing, and repair. I cannot recall much of the 1987 events and trial due to multiple heart attacks and strokes in 2016, only reality, so the following are important points from trial. Baker met me in a number one. Baker met me in a public place about his radio and began whispering things I didn't understand. I responded, hold on. I can't understand a word you're saying many times. This was the alleged conspiracy to commit murder of which I am imprisoned, based on conclusory opinion falsely created in jurors' minds by the informant and the bribe-taking prosecutor. The truth would set me free. Number two, prosecution witness Martin McCarty of Erie, Michigan falsely testified I had threatened the alleged victim and used GD and MF words when I have never used those words in my life. A tape recording of the alleged conversation would show I said no such thing. Monroe County Deputy Sheriff Thomas Redmond took the tape recording from my home and put it in his pocket, but refused to give it to me at pretrial discovery. A copy of the tape is hidden, but I cannot get it, and the trial court refuses to honor my motion thereon. Therefore, the corrupt Michigan court denied me one defense. The truth would set me free. Number three, Walter E. Verdun, the prosecutor's shooter, mentioned in my two prior emails, testified he was at a location at 1300 hours where the prosecutor falsely inferred a conspiratorial act occurred. Hours before that particular time, I had been to my doctor's office for pneumonia, went to a pharmacy, then spent the afternoon shoveling snow and having snowball fights with my nephews at my sister's home until about 1600 hours. These events were back-to-back without any other events between them. Therefore, I was elsewhere from about 1130 hours to 1600 hours and could not have been at the 1300 hours location. My attorney was admittedly ineffective by failure to address this point, thereby denying me another defense. The truth would have set me free. Number four, Deputy Sheriff Cal Carey falsely testified I said I was at the alleged 1300 hours conspiracy location. My original paid attorney got testimony from Carey, and Carey had falsified police reports and dates thereon. I told Carey that I was not there prior to 1630 hours. The truth would set me free. Deputy Sheriff Gerald Began falsely testified I was at the alleged 1300 hours conspiracy location. He said, tell me about sick 1986. I said, I took sick to a hospital for a sprained ankle. Deputy Began then falsely turned that into a 1987 event. Deputy Gerald Began made the false testimony to gain leniency for his brother Pete Began, who had raped a 6-year-old girl. The truth would have set me free. 6. A res gestae witness, who I did not know, to another alleged conspiratorial act, testified that I was not party to the alleged act. This directly contradicted alleged conspiracy testimony of key prosecution witness Timothy Paul Baker. The prosecutor tried to keep this res gestae witness hidden, but finally had to disclose the facts. Number 7. Michigan Department of Corrections paperwork on my case says I'm in prison for a victimless crime, and the trial judge ruled there is no violence in this case. HT 2, October the 5th, 1987. The best I recall at this time, I know the prosecution was a pack of lies from the pits of hell. John 8:47. And you know, in the event I soon die. And now you know, in the event I soon die from lack of medical care. You know, as I'm reading his email, it dawns on me that he might very well benefit from the DeMaya case. I need to get him as much information as I can on the DeMaya case. Thank you for your time.